Good morning everyone. Today is the 28th of May and it's a Sunday, and basically I'm going to MCM Expo today. I made videos on this before. MCM Expo, for those of you who don't know, it's like the anime expo of LA, equivalent to one in London, and it happens twice a year, and this is the summer one. So yeah, I'm going to be cosplaying. Some of you may know about Natsume Chincho, and basically I'm going to be cosplaying as Hozoki, one of the gods that appears in there, and Natsume has to like dress up as him. So I'm cosplaying Natsume, who's dressing up as the god Hozoki. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Good afternoon, guys. It's now the day after MCM, and so it's the Monday, and I just want to show what merch I managed to get. Unlike the other ones, it's not as much merch as I usually buy. I was cosplaying, I didn't want to carry too much stuff, so I just really bought light novels. The other stuff I was given. So yeah. So as per usual, for the last 4 times, I've been to the Travelling Man. I got 5 light novels again. Well, last time I think I got 10 or maybe it was 5. I used their buy 4 novels and get the 5th one free by if it's with Yen Press. So the books that I got were the 8th volume of Sword Art Online. This book sounds interesting. It's called Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. It sounds a lot like Sword Art Online, so you have a programmer who gets transported to the gear that he's currently working on. I only got the first novel. I'm going to read it and see how it goes if I like it. There was like 4 or something. So I'm going to get the rest. Sword Art Online Progressive. I have the first 3 volumes, the 4th volume. I was hoping to get the 4th volume in the last one, but it wasn't released then, but it's released now. Is It Wrong to Pick Up a Girl in the Dungeon? Volume 7. And Sword Art. So this is basically a spin-off of the other book. How to Pick Up a Girl in the Dungeon. I wanted the 1st and 2nd volumes, but since it's a Sunday, they ran off stock, and they only had the 2nd volume. Like the other ones, I also wanted to really get my hands on was the Irregular at Magic High School, but it was a Sunday, and unfortunately it was completely sold out. I was like, I found the manga, and now I was like, where was the light novels? And then after I just asked the person there, they just said, yeah, we had sold out, unfortunately, so I'll probably have to get those next time. So I got some free stuff from the PSVR trial. So I got a maroon, I think this would be. It's a Star Trek t-shirt. Yeah, it's a large size. Not for me, but I guess I can wear it for like pajamas or something like that. And I also got a poster. Now, I believe that this is an Horizon, the game. Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn poster. There we go, in its glory. This is for the PS4, I know, but I haven't played the first one or this one at all. So yeah, so I might play it someday, but for now, no. Still got to finish Zelda actually. So yeah, that's all I got. For those who are interested about the cosplaying, I am not a tailor, so I didn't actually make the costume. So I had someone else make me the costume. They also sent me a mask and a wig, but there were issues with these. So for instance, the mask was basically a thin piece of foam that was in an oval shape, cut down from the top to the middle, got a portion out and then glued it together to give its curvature, which is basically the same way I did my mask, but I hid all that, so I PVA glued it and whatnot. This mask was just, the glue was visible and it was obviously cut, and they just stuck some cheap black foam onto it. It was not the best quality that there is. And the wig was just way too long, so I think they just got a standard wig and threw it in. So like, Natsume has a short bob, and what they had given, well, it's not a bob per se, but it's like the typical Japanese long-ish hair thing. But what I was given was like a full-scale bob to the shoulders, so I had to cut that short. The reason why I had these issues was because I actually wore this costume to the UCL Freshers Fair. So basically, for the past year, I have been president of the Anime Society, and I was at the stall to advertise my society. As for the mask, instead of fixing it, there's no way of fixing something as trashy as that, I ended up just making my own. So here's some footage of it. So the base is cardboard, and again it has incisions into it, but I then taped it and then I paper mache'd it with PVA glue and newspaper and tissue paper to allow it to hold its shape and give it strength, unlike the foam, which is trash. After I let it dry, I then added a layer of white poster paint. This approach had some problems because when I left it to dry, there were holes and cracks in it after an hour or so. I read online that paint doesn't really sit well on curved surfaces, so I ended up mixing it with a bit of PVA, and this did help it a bit, but because there was already holes, it left holes in the dried layer. But after about 5 layers of this, it was smooth. I then added the eyes and the other marks using acrylic paint. For the horns, I just used twisted paper, so I just grabbed some of the paper that were in some Amazon packages, took them out, twisted them, and then paper mache to give it strength and to keep its shape. I then also got a lot of them and then tried to stick them in order to make them look like a tree branch of sorts. And then gave it some more paper mache to give it strength. I then painted it in brown paint to give it the tree-like colour. So yeah, personally I thought the cosplay went well, but for some strange reason not a lot of people actually knew who I was cosplaying as. Oh well. Generally the event as a whole was slightly disappointing in terms of what I was expecting. So I was hoping, because this was one of the best cosplays I'd done in my opinion, that I would be able to take photos with other cosplayers. I thought there was bound to be someone going to be cosplaying as Boku no Hero Academia characters like Bakugo, but to my surprise no one actually came as those characters. You had the ones that always come along, so like Kirito cosplays, Asuna cosplays, Yuno cosplays and whatnot, but none of like the newer series. I also wanted to actually see some Victor Yuri cosplays. There were a few, but they weren't that good. All the good ones were the Russian Yurio. They had very good cosplays for him, but yeah. Like back in fall, I took pictures with haiku, like full haiku teams and Kuroko no Basket teams, and like dramatical murder characters and whatnot, and comic heroes, like some guy I remember paid $2,000 for an Iron Man suit. It looked awesome, but whoa, that was too pricey. So yeah, I guess maybe because people had exams or they were going home or something, there weren't a lot of cosplays that I hoped there would be. But beyond that, the highlight of the day was the PSVR experience, the trial that they were running. So about 2 weeks prior to this event, there was an email sent to me by probably like Sony Entertainment or PlayStation or whatnot, saying that they were going to run PSVR trials at MCM Expo. They said it will be released on the Monday just went. You'll be allowed to apply and book a time slot, and Monday booked it out. About what I have experienced, I haven't actually tried the Vive or the Rift, so the more expensive ones. I think they go for like £700, while the PSVR goes for like £325. And I had only experienced like the Google Cardboard or the cheap plastic ones that you slip your phone into, with a cheap Chinese remote. But for me, the experience, it was awesome, but the image quality was slightly disappointing. I thought it was very similar to the phone VR experience, and when I actually checked the specs of the PlayStation VR, it actually is just the 1920 by 1080 this resolution, so basically full HD. Like the Google Pixel has a higher resolution than that. But what I really liked about it was the controllers. So they used the PlayStation Move controllers. I've never personally owned these. It blew my mind away. So like it could tell the rotation of your hands, and in that sense, depending on the orientation, you could or couldn't grab certain things in the VR environment. So the game that I ended up playing with was Star Trek Bridge Crew. It's a 4-player game where you have to maneuver a ship and complete various objectives. There are 4 positions in the game. You have the captain, the engineer, the tactical officer, and the helmsman.
Sergeant Bridge, individually responsible for each different role. So, we've got the captain, so their job is most important. They've got to relay the information to the team. have good communication skills and not be afraid to boss someone about, okay? We've got the helmsman next, very able to pilot the ship, to steer the ship, get it on course for war, get it on course to avoid mines, etc. After that, you've got the tactician. Their job is to look after the phasers, the torpedoes, and the scanning, and getting people off of a ship, off onto your ship, and finally, we've got the engineer. Their job is to look after the engine power, shield power, phaser length, and they've also got to do repairs, look after the ship that way.
Strangely enough, I played with the CEO of MCM Expo's son, and whew, I guess that he was about 16 years old. He's taller than me. Well, I'm kind of a short guy anyway. But yeah, he was 13 to my surprise. There was also Gemma, she was the captain, and there was the engineer, who I think was a foreigner. He had a really strange accent. It was a great concept of game. Unfortunately, I have not actually seen any of the Star Trek films, so I can't really comment on how accurate it is to the story. Really enjoyed it. Just a bit sad that the experience was cut short, so I didn't know, maybe the game was really long or something, but they cut it short. And also the engineer's PS4 kept on crashing, so what ended up happening was mid-game, and then suddenly he would just be silent, and we were like, okay, we have no engineer to control our thrusters or weapons and charge them up or whatnot. Yeah, and that was basically it for MCM Expo. Afterwards, we just went to Greenwich and went to the O2 Arena. Iron Maiden was singing that night, but we didn't go there. We went there for the Pizza Express. I discovered Dopals, and they are really good, especially with the garlic butter that they give you. Bliss, just absolute bliss. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. For more anime content, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!